Hey everyone, it's Jessie Berry, and I wanted to kind of go over the new Sonic movie. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I do have a blog up about it, kind of giving a brief general synopsis, but it definitely did not contain spoilers. And I also wanted to talk a little bit more extensively about the movie in general. Now, I personally really enjoyed it. As I mentioned in my blog, link is in the description. I am not what you would call a Sonic fan by any stretch of the imagination. I like the character Sonic. I enjoyed whatever I saw or whatever music I heard from it. But I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard Sonic fan. So I may not be the best judge of character for as far as canon goes with the folklore of Sonic. But yeah, I really liked the adventure it gave, and I liked how they redid the Sonic character, honestly. Obviously, the character was a lot better designed than it was before. I mean, you have a couple of the general pitfalls that family movies go into, what with some mild rude humor, but I mean, if your kid's like not like 5 or below, I don't know. It depends on your judgment on that. It's definitely, I think it could be safe to take your kids to, but sure, I don't have any kids, so I would say watch it beforehand just to see what it's like. Or pluggedin.com has a very good review of that, as far as how it relates to the family movie. Few things I liked about it extensively. I like that Carl character. Just that part was absolutely hilarious. I burst out laughing in the theater when he had his picture of Sonic, or the Blue Devil as he called him, and it was Sonic the meme. I was dying. That was just absolutely funny. That was really clever. One thing I noticed, there's not a whole lot of female presence in the movie. And in an age where there's a lot of girl power aspects in characters, or there has to be like a lead female character. I mean, obviously you had the guy's wife, who definitely was integral to the plot, when she was helping revive Sonic. But she didn't do much else. And quite frankly, it didn't seem to be that kind of movie. So I mean, I was fine with it. I mean, I saw pretty much all kinds of audiences in the show I did go to see. And oh my word, yeah, the humans in this movie, oh my goodness, could you say afterthought? And it kind of worked, I guess. The whole thing about just the plot, the quality of the plot, it's not nothing groundbreaking. It's good, but you can tell it's definitely a lot of what you saw in the theater. I mentioned this in the blog too. What you saw in the trailers, and then plot line, another scene from the trailer, plot line, etc., etc. The oh boy, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. I feel like I'll give that a pass. I'll give the secondary characters a pass. I'll give the fact that I can't remember the human's name except Donut Lord, Pretzel Lady, sister of Pretzel Lady, and niece of Pretzel Lady. Just, and then of course Robotnik's assistant. There's really nothing to those characters, and you could tell that all the energy went into making Sonic the Hedgehog, and practically nothing else. And in this case, like I said, I'll give it a pass because let's say Garfield, the movie, for example. I watched the commentary, and yes, literally like 90% of the budget went into Garfield. Garfield ate the budget for that movie, and it just wasn't all that good. It didn't really feel like Garfield. My apologies to Dan Aykroyd. I know he tried. It's hard to really get the Lorenzo music dry delivery feel. And really Garfield didn't look all that much like Garfield. I don't know what kind of thing they were going for, but again, with Sonic, they made him look like Sonic. They were like, "Hey, you want Sonic? Here's Sonic. This is Sonic. This is the Sonic you wanted." And I realized after the fact, his arms were still blue, even though technically his arms aren't blue. But I think in Sonic Boom, his arms are blue, based on whatever research I did. Also, speaking of his origins, I don't know how many origin stories Sonic has, but what's the deal with the owl? Please let me know. I mentioned this in the blog. But yes, I'm not sure what kind of what's up with the owl. Is she canon? Who is she? She was not that I wanted to know about. Also with those little red animals, boy, I can't remember what that's called. Well, the Knuckles character animal. Yeah, I told you I'm not much of a Sonic person. So we didn't get much of those except maybe a preview of what maybe to come. Yeah, I feel like I got gypped with that. I really wanted more connection. I mean, I know Sonic had grown up, pretty much grown up on Earth, the majority of his life, and you'd think we'd get some connection to his past life, how he grew up. I mean, we didn't get much more other than he likes to run and he was raised by an owl. That's it. And owls eat those things anyway. So yes, Little Miss Hoot Hoot, again, I don't even remember her name, dies in the first part of the thing. I'm like, I have several questions. So yeah, it definitely could have been a lot better of a movie. But like I said, I think the big drawback was the big pushback. No, not the thing. I think the big thing was just like they had to push back the start date in order to please the fans, which is not really done much in cinematic history. I definitely wish I could have seen like a Jaleel White cameo, unless I missed it. I don't know what he looks like now because I really mostly have seen him as Steve Urkel. But yeah, they should get a Steve Urkel if they are really dedicated to the sequel, which it looks like they are. Coming out in like a couple of years or so, please get Jaleel White in there. I mean, you already got John Cena and The Rock, so that ought to be nice. So I'm guessing Sonic's wrestling in the next one. I'm telling you, wrestling organization, what is it, WWF? They're really getting into children's entertainment. I definitely wrote about that kind of, to a small extent in another blog post. I think it was for Surf's Up too. But yeah, still, John Cena and The Rock in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Count me in. Yeah, one thing I am leery of, because it looks like the couple in the movie, the human couple in the movie, are adopting Sonic as their kid. Sonic is supposed to be 15 years old, right? That means he's old enough to be a high school freshman. And he's never attended, and he mentioned this in the first movie, that he never attended school. This is one thing I dread, because it's been done to death. You have Alvin and the Chipmunks doing it. You got, I can't think of anything else offhand, and it just looks so cheesy. I hope they don't go in the same direction as Sonic goes to school and can't fit in and all these 90s trope bullies. And I'm like, if that happens, I'm just be like, oh my gosh, check my brain out of this scene. Check my brain out of this scene. But yeah, that's one thing I'm not looking forward to, especially since Sonic seems to be more of his own type of guy, and he's already gone through that huge adventure type. I really hope they focus more on his building relationships with, let's say, Tails or Knuckles. If they bring in Amy, Rouge the Bat, if she's still a thing, all these other different characters that the universes have built in. And yeah, just a matter of, I definitely want to see Dr. Robotnik again. Jim Carrey, oh my goodness, he did a tremendous job as Robotnik, I think. And again, this isn't necessarily me saying, oh yeah, this is totally 100% Dr. Robotnik / Eggman. I can't tell you, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't watch a whole lot of Sonic. So, him saying it's him as an actor, and quite frankly, if his thing is anything like The Grinch, I'm going to guess that his interpretation of Dr. Robotnik is, okay, I'm this character, but I'm bringing my own flavor to it. And he did. And it's really reminiscent of classic Jim Carrey acting. So yeah, bravo, brother. That was really fun to watch him as that. One thing I guess I don't understand is why do they make him electric? I don't understand that. I thought he was just fast. Is Is electricity something in the games? Last time I saw Sonic the Hedgehog, I was like a little kid and I was watching my cousins play it. And yeah, I know there's a supersonic mode, which I was kind of hoping I could have seen in this one, but I guess we're not gonna. I mean, I guess the whole Chaos Emeralds, the whole Sonic folklore will be brought into the second movie. Like, okay, we had ideas with this first movie. Now it's going to be a buddy adventure movie because we really Sonic ate up our budget. The redesign of Sonic, which I appreciate. So, like I said, I'll give this one a pass as far as, like I said, the quality of the plot, quality of the characters, quality of humor, I guess. A lot of stuff. It was just like, okay, it's nice to see the this character of Sonic because it looks kind of like the games and the cartoons, but it still looks somewhat realistic. I don't know, but yeah. Oh my goodness, that was so cute with the little niece, the girl, giving Sonic her shoes. I'm looking at it, I'm like, why would her mother get her those shoes? I have no idea. I mean, like, it looks like they were just made to be like, yeah, just in case a little blue hedgehog has really janky sneakers. So, yeah. Another thing I didn't get, the sister seemed to want to break up the couple. What? Was she like jealous? One, because the thing I noticed is the sister has a daughter, and I'm assuming that's her daughter, and there's no dad. So I'm wondering, is she just like bitter or something? So yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah. So I definitely want to see Jaleel White cameo in the next movie. I really, really hope they veer away from the whole temptation of making a high school plot. Like I said, a cartoon in high school is way overdone. It's just, it really makes no sense. I mean, it's about as overdone as a popular cartoon character in the real world type of scenario. And yeah, it's just, I just hope they come up with something a little bit different than that. I don't know where they would go with it, but I mean, talk to the same people who told you how to redo the Sonic design, because clearly they know what they're talking about. Last thing, definitely, and like I said, there are spoilers in here. I like the transition from Dr. Robotnik, the human, to this crazed out mad scientist at the end. You know, he shaves his head. The mustache is absolutely bonkers. And he's in the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh my goodness. If they make some kind of reference to Mario, that'd be funny. That would be absolutely funny. I guess the mushroom thing was a kind of a Mario diss because Sonic was saying he hates mushrooms. Did-a-dumps. Yeah, oh my goodness, the very, very end, because I actually did watch it too, like beyond the mid-credit scene, Tails showing up was just the cutest thing. Honest to goodness, I was like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, don't tell me he's already figured out a way back. And then I see Tails pop up. I literally was like, yeah! And I think there were like a couple of kids in the audience going, look, it's Tails! It was just the cutest thing. But yeah, I was just like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. And apparently they got the voice actress from the video games to do his voice. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice to see that. How many voices has Sonic had? You couldn't have gotten an old one. Apparently this is a completely new Sonic. And yeah. But yeah. So yeah, there's that. Sonic flossing was kind of weird, but I was still for it. I was just like, at least he's not overly 90s. Overly 2010s, but not overly 90s. So, yeah. So that's pretty much my opinions about the new Sonic movie. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you around. Peace.